It's the Nemesis here. I'm just another cheesehead. And I want to welcome you to a new series of playlists or podcasts that I'm going to be doing moving forward. And I'll definitely be doing a lot more of this, responding every week to the week of football we had, and also responding to the draft, etc. This is something that my wife and we just decided to start doing. We've kind of sat in silence, watching, seeing things, when it comes to, people we watch, when it comes to board games and finding out rules to play board games, or we see, gameplay streams. And we watch a lot of videos about the Green Bay Packers. I know I watch a lot of videos about the Green Bay Packers, and I'm a frustrated Packer fan while I sit behind the scenes and I hear the pundits and I hear the individuals who are on screen on YouTube talk about my team, my quarterback. And, we talked today and we decided that, you know what, I need to incorporate everything that I love, all my passions. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm a gamer. I love playing board games, video games. And I'm a proud owner of the Green Bay Packers. Of course, it's not monetary. I make no money. But in my heart, I got all the money that I need. Because I'm a proud owner of the Green Bay Packers. Still looking forward to making my way up to Green Bay for a shareholder meeting. I bought my share before they made the recent sale. I bought my share back in like the early 2000s. So I run deep. Maybe not as deep as some of you others, right, who bought it back when they sold it then. But I'm definitely not the most recent purchaser. So I have that going for me. I'm a little excited and a little sad and a little disappointed today that this will be the first Packer video that I've ever created. And I know it's going to set the tone. I know that I'm going to rub some people the wrong way. I know I'm going to rub people the wrong way, but it must be said. Everything I'm going to say today, I believe to be true. I'm going to tell you that right now. And there's going to be more for me to say as time goes on. I hope you see that man on my screen right now. He's not a godly man. I pray for him. Not every day, but I definitely pray for him. And he's answered a lot of our prayers when it comes to watching football and winning football games. I just want to say that right now. That man that's sitting there on that screen, he's not perfect, but I have respect for him. I don't agree with everything that he stands for, but I don't watch him. I'm not a fan of him because of what he stands for off of the field. I watch him and I'm a fan of him because of what he's done for our team and our organization on the field. And I think that's how it should always be. Last time I checked, we live in 2023, people. 2023. A year where we have access to celebrities, people, individuals at an unprecedented rate. We focus our attention on these people. We want to be these people. I don't want to be Aaron Rodgers. I just want him winning football games for our organization, for our team. But you know what? I have respect and love for great players like Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, of course, my man Brett Favre, who we had a love-hate relationship for a while there, but he's back on the love train. I don't know what's going on in Mississippi, but I ignore that because that doesn't matter. What did he do on the field for our organization? He won games. He threw some interceptions, a little more than some. I watched them, nearly every one of them. but he won football games. And today is another day, April 24th, 2023. Just a few hours ago. Had a buddy call me. We talked today. He shared the news. I had a friend text me right before my buddy called me. Kind of triggered me to make me realize that something big was happening. I was spending time streaming, playing this terrible game. It's a game that I love on my mobile phone, but man, when you play it on the console, it's just awful. All the features are gone, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But when he texted me, I saw the message. I was a little concerned, a little happy. It's weird to say that it's a bittersweet moment, because most of the time when people say bittersweet, you know what they mean. But for me, being bittersweet for today is drastically different than most people, because I love Aaron Rodgers. I love what he's done for our organization. I'm pleased to be a fan of a team that he played on. Greatness. I think he's the greatest quarterback to ever live, and it's not even close. Yes, I said it. I know Tom Brady exists, and we can talk about that on another day, because my wife told me to stay in line. If I was going to make my first Green Bay Packer video today, it couldn't be 100% about Tom Brady, because he frustrates me. I think he's ruined the league in a negative way, but we'll talk about that later. But I have respect for Tom Brady. I want that to be said. I have a lot of respect for Tom Brady. A little more respect for Bill Belichick, if that gives you a hint. And those defenses. But we'll move on. Today we're reacting because, again, I'm just another cheesehead. And we're talking about Aaron Rodgers being traded to the New York Jets. That bad man is gone. He will no longer wear green and gold. He will wear whatever the stupid color is of the other team, the Jets. Green and white and pewter. I don't know what it is. I don't really care what it is. But let's not get it twisted. I will be watching every Jet game this season. There is no doubt in my mind. I will watch every Jet game this season. And I've been negative about the Packers, but I'll suffer through the majority of the Packer games this season. And I say suffer because I don't believe we're going to win much. So how do I feel as a Packer fan? Diehard Packer fan. Been a Packer fan since I can remember. I feel bittersweet today. The Green Bay Packers organization has ruined the careers of two great Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Now, you might be a little baffled by that statement, because you might be wondering, how can I make such a claim that the Packer front office or organization has ruined two careers of two great quarterbacks, when their careers, they're Hall of Famers at this point? They've ruined their careers because what do we have to show for? 2 Super Bowl appearances with Brett Favre, 1 Super Bowl appearance with Aaron Rodgers, 2 Super Bowls to count. 2 of the greatest, top 10, top 15. That's debatable. We already know Aaron Rodgers is number 1. We just don't know where Favre is. We don't need to argue that right now. I still think he's top 10, maybe top 15 to ever do it. And they have 2 Super Bowls to show for it. 3 Super Bowl appearances. I've watched them all live. And that's not saying much, because we've only been to 3 in their era. I didn't get the luxury of seeing Bart Starr Just not that old. But I'm older than probably a lot of you who's watching this video and listening to this podcast. The Green Bay Packer organization has ruined their careers. Favre probably had a little more to do with his career not being as great as it could have been because he threw a lot of interceptions. But we know without a doubt, they've ruined Aaron Rodgers' career. Strong words. Truthful words. Can't really be disputed. How many playoff games have we lost because of our defense playing like trash? I know the ones who are going to say, Aaron Rodgers hasn't played that great. Well, we know that. He hasn't played that great. And guess what? Every quarterback in the NFL has not played that great. Everyone has a right to have a bad game, a series of bad games, or even a bad season, or they have the right to get injured. What we've seen is Aaron Rodgers consistently playing great QB football in the NFL without a supporting cast to be around him, to support him, to lead him to the promised land, which is another Vince Lombardi. You know it, I know it, and anyone with a brain knows it. You know, I used to watch a lot of sports talk TV. I don't watch any of it now. I find it all absolutely ridiculous. The gimmick, not serious. It's individuals trying to create polarizing opinions based off of irrational information. Hey, even using misinformation, details, data that doesn't see the full picture. We're not here for that. We're here for the facts. We're here for the reality. We're here for what I watched every Packer game since I can remember, since I was a kid, especially as an adult. There's no doubt in my mind. Own Favre jerseys, Rodgers jerseys. And I've never been so disappointed than I am right now. We lost the greatest of all time in Aaron Rodgers today, and I feel defeated. And I'm slightly hopeful. I feel defeated because this guy played for us for 17 years? And we can only strum up one great defensive run to get him to a Super Bowl in 2010. And now today, he's gone to the Jets playing for Salah. He got Alan Lazard. We heard about the rumors of Randall Cobb. I don't know if that's happening or yet not, because during this time of the year, I just kind of keep my head in the sand until the draft comes, so that's a few days away. We'll have a reaction video to that as well for both the Jets and the Packers, and you heard me. I will be covering, or at least I will be covering the Jets, and I will be covering the Packers. And what I look forward to is hearing all those stupid Packer fans who continue to berate and disrespect the great players who played for our organization. Players and coaches win Super Bowls, not the front office, not the staff. So I have respect for the players. I have respect for the coaches. I don't have any respect for our front office and most front offices and staffs. The front office and staff that's supposed to do their job shouldn't be in the limelight, shouldn't be out there in the press conferences making a name for themselves. You should know who they are. I didn't know who the GM of the Golden State Warriors was. They won a lot of championships. There's a lot of great teams that are out there. Who's the GM for the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won the Super Bowl with Tom Brady? I don't know. That's how it should always be. Think of most great GMs that put together great teams. In my opinion, you rarely know their name. Brian Gutekunst is a name that gets mentioned regularly on sports when we talk about the Green Bay Packers. You shouldn't know who he is. You shouldn't know his name. But you know his name. Why? Because he has the greatest quarterback to ever play for him, not surrounded by the greatest players that could have helped propel that team to victory. My frustration comes from the perspective of I wanted to win championships. We had opportunities. And we squandered those opportunities because we weren't willing to pay up. We weren't willing to get free agents. We weren't willing to do what was necessary because the league was changing and shifting. There used to be a day when you used to be able to draft players, work on them, develop them, and turn them into stars. And Green Bay was really good at that for a while. But what would happen? We would never pay them. We would make great players, and we'd kick them to the curb. We'd draft great players, and we wouldn't take care of them. And Aaron Rodgers tried to tell us that. While everyone was bashing him and disrespecting him, I paid attention and I listened. Because the man who's making $50 million a year doesn't have to say a word. But he chooses to use his voice to say something, so he's communicating something to the fans that I think we need to pay attention to. We needed to stop listening to the stupid sports talk TV shows that were wasting our time, literally telling us lies, giving us these exaggerated opinions just to get airways, just to get people to listen. Because we love negativity. We love listening to the garbage that these people spew. And real fans like myself and the real fans that are out there that know what I'm talking about, they were watching and they stopped watching. Or they never watched at all. I can't wait to see what Aaron Rodgers does with the Jets. I'm not really willing to go out on the limb and say they're going to go to the Super Bowl because it takes a team. We've seen that. You and I both know that. You're listening to what I'm saying right now. You know deep in your heart why we didn't win the Super Bowl. Or why we didn't go to the Super Bowl, sorry. You know in your heart why we lost in the divisional round. Why we lost in those NFC championship games. Defense wins championships. It's been proven time and time again. If you look at the stats, and we'll go through this on future videos, you can see it. It's atrocious. You are slowly but surely seeing defenses get weaker and weaker and weaker. The number one team that holds the crown for scoring defense doesn't happen every single year because some years there's anomalies, but consistently you're seeing the number one team and the top scoring defense gives up more and more points every year. You used to see a year where they were giving up 13, 14, 15 points, and now you're seeing teams in the top 10 giving up 20-something plus points. Even 18 points a particular season. Now, you might not think that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You want to chalk that up to, well, teams are scoring more. The rules have changed. No, there were anomalies, right? I told you about that. The Patriots and other teams were anomalies to that because they actually had great defenses. There's still great coaches in the league, still great defensive coordinators in the league on a few teams that are still teaching great techniques, strategies to be great defenses even today in 2023. And we'll still continually see that. While the trend is to continually go up, unfortunately. So I'm looking forward to seeing more pieces signing to the Jets before I go out on the limb and say I think they're going to win it all. The AFC is extremely tough. You got Joe Burrow, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, then you got Bill Belichick in your own division. It's going to be tough. The NFC, All you have is the East. There's no other great team in the NFC at all. And I don't believe in the Eagles, despite the fact that they made their run to the Super Bowl. But it's going to be much easier for them again this time around because there's no opposition whatsoever in their way. And I don't want to hear anything about the Dallas Cowboys. But what I'm looking forward to is seeing Aaron Rodgers having a successful season if they're able to sign more free agents, which I believe they will be able to do. And if they're able to do that, this will put the ultimate spotlight on Green Bay and the front office that has been deserved for many, many years. This has been my battle cry for years. We need to get rid of, and I'm not going to stutter when I say this, we need to get rid of Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy, and I believe Matt LaFleur. I will give Matt LaFleur the benefit of the doubt. Here's why I'll give Matt LaFleur the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what you do without Aaron Rodgers. And I'm willing to give you 2 years. But I already know the answer to that question. You ain't going to do anything without Aaron Rodgers. Unless Jordan Love is the second coming of Aaron Rodgers, you ain't going to do anything with Jordan Love. You were hired when you were leading the offense of the Tennessee Titans, ranking their offense in the bottom 30 of the league. I believe they were ranked 27th or 28th in offense. You got hired because you knew Sean McVay. You came from that tree, but you didn't prove anything to the team that you went to when you were helping them on offense. So I don't believe in Matt LaFleur, and I believe the success that Matt LaFleur received was because he held on to the coattails of Aaron Rodgers. He changed up the scheme, and Aaron Rodgers took a year. And even in the first year being there, Aaron Rodgers played pretty good, changing up in his entire offense. So I don't believe in Matt LaFleur. You got a lot of proving to do. I mean, Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl, and we all know, and I'm going to be respectful. We all know Mike McCarthy ain't the greatest quarterback, ain't the greatest head coach to ever walk on the field. You had 3 13-win seasons back to back, and you didn't even sniff a Super Bowl. So, to me, that was Aaron Rodgers giving you the best that he had left in the tank, squeezing every ounce of greatness he had still left in the tank, and I still believe there's a little bit more. And I think last season was just the season that you would normally see when you take a great quarterback and you disrespect him by not putting anybody great around him. You brought rookie wide receivers, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, who I hope turn out to be well and do good. But you took a great quarterback and you ruined his last season in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers by surrounding him with rookies. That's what you did, Brian Gutekunst. And then you tried to load up on defense to pretend that we're defense wins championships. What took you so long? And even when you loaded up on defense, the defense was terrible. Absolutely terrible. We didn't even make the playoffs. We were at home against the Detroit Lions, and we got bullied. And what did you do? You gave us no help, Brian Gutekunst. And this is what makes me upset about why the stupid Packer fans, I see you in the comments. I see the trash that you talk. You sound absolutely ridiculous. No team in NFL history has had the great success of having 30-plus years of great quarterback play like we've had. No team. You know what history tells us? That we're about to be trashed for like another 15 to 20 years. And you are so quick to go out on the limb, compare him to Tom Brady, disrespect the greatness that he's done and the greatness that all of those other players have done for us over the years. The Clay Matthews, I don't even want to mention another name because I can't stand him. Jordy Nelson's. How many times we've come back? One. And I love this. How many times we didn't need to come back because we were winning? That's the reality of us. I'm sorry I even misspoke. Aaron Rodgers isn't the comeback kid. Has he had comebacks? He's done it. But you know what he's done more? He's beaten the brakes off of teams. And guess what? It didn't matter about how many comebacks he had because he was winning the game before halftime. That's what greatness is. You see these stupid talk shows, sports talk shows talking about how, oh, Tom Brady has the most comebacks in NFL history. Why is that? Because one, their defenses were pretty tight, keeping the score really low. He didn't score enough points. The other team eventually, a blind squirrel will find a nut. A broken clock is right twice a day. They eventually score. The team is down 7, 10, 15 points. So Tom Brady can make that comeback. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, whoever it is can make that comeback. You know what Aaron Rodgers was doing during that time? I remember. Do you remember? 24-0, 21-0, 27, 14-0. First quarter, second quarter. Game in the bag. Looking him on the sidelines, laughing. I didn't have to spend time focusing on the game. I'm eating chips and Doritos on the side, watching the game, laughing, talking, hanging out with my friends or my family. Because Aaron Rodgers was just that dude. He was so good, but by halftime, the game was over. And the defenses admitted it themselves. Clay Matthews even said it over the many years. We took our team for granted because we knew we had number 12 behind center. So we knew that everything was going to be all right, even if we played like trash. They know it. I know it. You all know it. You watched them. And now today we lose Aaron Rodgers. He goes to the Jets. And everyone's just assuming Jordan Love's just going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm going to be very frank with you. I didn't even like Aaron Rodgers when he first got the keys to the car. I was pissed. The fact that we were so quick to not give Brett Favre the chance to retire, think about it, and potentially come back, that they were willing to move on to Aaron Rodgers, it baffled me. Like, bro, how many great quarterbacks do you get in the NFL? There are teams that are still looking for their star, and they haven't gotten him. So I'm not going to be quick to just be like, sure, let's move on to the next guy. If we saw great quarterbacks coming out of every school every single year, then I would tell you, all right, I got you. Yeah, move on, Aaron Rodgers. You old, we cool, you did your thing. We got somebody new. No, that's not the truth in the NFL. The truth is great quarterbacks are few and far between. It's not as easy as finding Jesus Christ. He's right there. That's not a hard thing to find. Finding a great quarterback is finding gold in your house. And you didn't put it there. Nearly impossible, right? And that's what we had. We had that for 15 plus years. So I'm not quick to, I think he played about 14 years. He played 14 years, Brett Favre. So I'm not quick to just embrace the new guy. But that's not even the situation we got going on here. Aaron Rodgers at one point was potentially going to go number 1 overall in his draft in 2005. Jordan Love wasn't looked at that way. They talked about Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers in 2005. And then Aaron Rodgers fell in the draft. Jordan Love from Utah. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but the odds are against him. The odds are greatly against him. And I would love to say, man, we're going to go another 15 years with Jordan Love at the helm. He shut me up. And he becomes the greatest Packer to ever play the game. All right, I would love that, but we all know that's not going to happen. We can't strike gold 3 times in a row. That's 3 times too many. You need to wait. And then look at the sins of us, the Packer fans, talking the trash that they're talking, disrespecting the greatness of the players that have played for our organization. Can't even respect the man who's played the best football we've ever seen. Highest passer rating ever in NFL history. Super Bowl champion. And who knows what would have happened in 2009 if he didn't get robbed from being face masked in the final play of the game against Arizona Cardinals. There's so much that I could just burst onto the scene right now. There's so much. So we need to get rid of Brian Gutekunst, Mark Murphy, and I'll give Matt LaFleur the benefit of the doubt, but I think he needs to go too. These defenses have to improve. I'm going to be so pissed if we draft a wide receiver for Jordan Love this Thursday. The disrespect. Brian Gutekunst better stay pat. And here's the worst part about it. I don't know how this dude could ever get fired because he seems like he's the only one besides him and Mark Murphy doing all the hiring. The reason why today is a bittersweet is because I do believe that if the Jets can sign the more pieces to bolster their defense, to bolster their offense, to protect Aaron Rodgers, I do believe they're going to go and win a Super Bowl. And I don't think they need to win it. I just think they need to go. And when they go to the Super Bowl, and I'm praying and hoping that the Jets go to the Super Bowl. I really am. Not the Packers. I'm praying the Jets go. The reason why is because I know the root problem in our organization is the leadership in the front office. And if you listen to me, the leadership in the front office has been holding our team and our organization back. Their philosophy has to change. We are a small town team in a big town world. What I fear is that we can't go another drought of 10 to 15 years being 3-12 or whatever, 4-12. What's the new 4-13? We can't be 4-13 anymore for 10, 15 years because Brett Favre saved our organization by even getting traded to us when we got him because we were trashed for many, many years. So you might think I'm an anti-Packer fan. Look at him talk about the Jets. No, I'm a pro-Packer fan, a shareholder, and I'm telling you, we need to get rid of the culprits. You can't blame Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre anymore because they're not here, and we're about to see exactly who's the culprit behind it. I remember the fire Ted Thompson chants, and God rest his soul. He didn't make every great decision. There was definitely a lot of dumb decisions that he made when he was here as our GM. Our defenses had let us down so many times, giving up on average over 30-plus points a game in the playoffs. What team do you know is going to be able to overcome that obstacle? So I'm looking forward to seeing Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. I'm looking forward to seeing what a real team, hopefully the Jets, do with a great player like Aaron Rodgers so that the whole world can see that we had an opportunity, that small town in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that I've been to several games, year after year, took the privilege of having such a great player in the green and gold and did absolutely nothing with it because one Super Bowl is nothing. It does suck that today, the one Super Bowl, which used to be a thing back in the day, Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live, didn't win a Super Bowl. But today, Tom Brady has ruined it for everyone. He goes and wins 7, wins 1 his first year with the Bucs. So everybody is praising this man. Not looking at the details, but people who focus on the details and understand that the NFL is a team sport. It's 11 on 11. There's a 22 men, 53-man roster but there's 22 men on the field at the same time. Sometimes 23 because Aaron Rodgers would call the hut right when they were trying to get somebody on defense off of the field. That's my man. That's my quarterback. That's Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to be able to see that in the green and gold. And I think that everyone who disagrees with that or tries to poo-poo Aaron Rodgers or call him a diva, they're idiots. Because you're not watching the man for what he does off the field. Who cares? As long as he doesn't kill someone or commit crimes. And I know some of you are going to say the COVID thing was a crime. It was not a crime. It was his right. We got to stop caring about what other people are doing outside when it comes to sports. He's doing one thing and one thing only, winning games for us. And he can't win every game by himself. We need the entire team to be around him. And that's what we've been lacking. That's what we've missed. And that's not disrespecting the defensive players on our team. They've admitted it themselves. They didn't play up to par. They could have played better. And that's what we need. But I am looking forward to Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. I hope he makes it to the Super Bowl. I don't need him to win it. I would love for him to win it. But I hope he makes it to the Super Bowl. That way, we win. You hear me, Packer fans? If Aaron Rodgers makes it to the Jets, makes it to the Super Bowl with the Jets, we win. You know why we win? Because the spotlight will be where it always belongs. What I've been saying for over 5, 6, 7 years. Maybe even longer. This team has let us down in the front office by not going through free agency, paying these great athletes. I mean, if you've ever been to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I love the Packers, but let's just assume the Packers aren't in Green Bay. Ain't nobody going to Green Bay for any reason whatsoever. Unless you got to pick your brother up because he got stranded there. Nobody's going to Green Bay. But when you go to Green Bay and you see Lambeau Field and you see that stadium and you just see some little rinky-dink house right next to the greatest stadium in the world, you know you're in a great place. But you're only in a great place because of the Green Bay Packers. Wisconsin is not special. So stop pretending that these players who are great are going to come to your town, come to your city for chump change. We could have had OBJ. We could have had so many players. Remember when we got Charles Woodson, he was regretting to come to the Green Bay Packers. What is there in Green Bay? Nothing but the Packers. And you might say, yes, the Packer fans. I get that. The Packer fans are some of the greatest fans in the world. Not all of us. Because you know who I'm talking about. Nicest people. Embraced me. I mean, I have so many amazing Packer stories. I couldn't even take the time right now to tell you how some Packer fans have treated me, a stranger. I remember going to a gas station. I'm a black man. I'm a big black man. So I intimidate a lot of people just by my size, not by my smile. I remember just going to a gas station, just to give you a little story. I went to a gas station. And sometimes you just are in environments around people, and you know, someone might look mad, I might look mad, but it has nothing to do with you. I don't think this man was mad at me. We're pumping gas, he looking mad, then I'm looking at him like, why he looking at me so mad? Then I start looking at him mad like, boy, don't look at me mad. And then I pull out my phone, and on the back of my phone, I had a phone cover. It had the Green Bay Packer logo on it. He looked at me, his face lit up like the North Star. You a Packer fan? You best believe it. We became friends instantly. From hate to love. False hate, right? It wasn't real hate. Didn't matter. Brought us together. Fantastic. That is consistent. I've had people just give me things just because I'm a Packer fan. How is that possible? You can stay at my house because you're a Packer fan. I don't even know you. All I know is you bleed green and gold because you're a Packer fan. Incredible people. I don't think those are the people that I'm talking about who have these stupid opinions about the great players that we love and we like watching on Sunday, Thursday night, and Monday night, and Saturday playoff games. And I don't think we're going to be sniffing a playoff game anytime soon, unfortunately. Unless, Jordan Love, if you listening, you prove me wrong. You take these words. There's a big shoe for you to fill, bro. Hope you realize where you're coming into. Because this man that you're seeing on my screen held this organization up for many, many years. And let's hope he wasn't lying when he was talking about you developing. I hope that. Maybe he was doing shrooms that day. I don't know when he said that. Maybe he was. I have no idea. So Jordan Love, man, I wish you luck. I want you to prove me wrong. I want to be so wrong about Jordan Love. I want to understand the wrongful ways of my words and my thoughts when you tell me and you show me the greatness that you are. If you have that in you, it better come out when the football season starts. It better come out now during training camp. It better come out now before the draft. It better come out. You need to dig deep, Jordan. Because you have Brett Favre. Let's start from the beginning. I didn't get to watch him. You have Bart Starr. You have Brett Favre. And you have that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. And today, he is a New York Jet. You best believe I'll be watching the Jets this season because I love Aaron Rodgers. And I love the Green Bay Packers. So I'm the Nemesis, Just Another Cheesehead. I thank you for joining me on my podcast today, the first of many. We discuss what's going on in the NFL, specifically for the Green Bay Packers. And this is where I get to share my obsessions, sports, gaming, my faith. And as always, if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, you need to get to know him. It'll be the best decision you've ever made. You might not think that that I'm a Christian after what I said today, but trust me, you don't look to God looking at me. You look to God by building your personal relationship with him directly. Don't judge him by me. Judge him by who he is and what he says. He's still working on me. So ask him to come into your heart. The best decision you'll ever make. Look up the sinner's prayer, the salvation prayer. Pray that special prayer and receive Christ as your Lord and personal Savior. Peace, love, and happiness. Go, Pack, go. Let's see what we do this Thursday. Thank you.